President Zelensky's historic offer. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news from Kiev. President Zelensky has made an extraordinary pledge. He'll resign immediately if it brings either NATO membership or lasting peace. This comes exactly 3 years to the day since Russia's full scale invasion began. Ukraine has fought relentlessly for its independence, sovereignty, and security since 2022. The country has defended its against one of the world's largest military forces while advocating for strong international reliance. Now, Zelensky's latest move may change Ukraine's fate forever. Let's understand what's at stake. Russia has launched its largest drone attack ever, 267 Iranian designed drones overnight. The US Russia talks are happening without Ukraine representatives. NATO's proposed $100 billion Ukraine fund faces major hurdles. Just hours before this announcement, Russia unleashed the war's most intensive aerial assault, deploying 267 drones and several ballistic missiles. Ukraine's air defense system managed to intercept 138 drones, but the attack still caused significant damage to the infrastructure, claiming civilian lives. This escalation raises serious questions. Can diplomacy still work, or has Russia decided to go all in? Meanwhile, US and Russia negotiations have taken place behind closed doors in Saudi Arabia, while Ukraine notable absent from the discussion. Zelensky has firmly rejected any agreement made, but the US, fearing that the deals broke without the Ukrainian involvement, may serve Moscow's interests more than Kyiv's. NATO's alliance have undebated a new $100 billion Ukraine assistance package, but the political gridlock in the US and European threatens its approval. With the war dragging on, funding support are growing increasingly uncertain. Why would Zelensky make this offer? Three reasons. First, it challenges Russia's narrative about his legitimacy. Second, is pressure from NATO to fast-track membership. Third, it preempts Western wall fatigue as U.S. elections approach. Zelensky's conditional resignation is a strategic gamble. Russia has long claimed this government lacked legitimacy by offering a step down for peace or NATO membership. Zelensky neutralizes one of the Moscow's key arguments. At the same time, this move increased pressure on NATO, and if Zelensky's resignation takes to get Ukraine into alliance with NATO, except Ukraine argues that fast-tracking membership could be the strongest deterrent against future Russian aggression. Zelensky called NATO the cheapest security option, emphasizing that security for Ukraine must come today, not decades from now. Finally, Zelensky's decision comes at a politically sensitive moment, with 2024 U.S. election cycle in full swing. America's support for Ukraine is increasingly tied to Washington's internal politics. A potential second Trump administration could shift foreign policies. Prioritizing Zelensky's offer is a bold move to secure Ukraine's future before that happens. NATO's angle gesture up. Zelensky wants to skip NATO's standard membership action plan. Ukraine's betting that his resignation could unlock Article 5 nuclear protection against Russia, 2,000 tactical warheads. Joining NATO typically requires a rigorous process known as the Membership Action Plan, but Ukraine wants to skip the step entirely, fast-tracking its application. The reasoning? Immediate security guarantees. If accepted, Ukraine would be covered under NATO's Article 5, which considers an attack on one member is an attack on all. For Ukraine, this is about survival. Russia's arsenal includes 2,000 warheads, and NATO memberships will provide a significant deterrent. But some NATO members like Turkey and Hungary remain hesitant. Would they approve of emergency membership process, or would political obstacles block Ukraine once again? Former President Trump calls Zelensky a dictator. House Republicans want blockchain elections in Ukraine. Pentagon seeks 7.2 billion from Ukraine lithium mines. Zelensky's decision also comes amid rising tension with the US in controversial settlement from former President Donald Trump, falsely claiming that the Ukraine started the war and criticized Zelensky for not holding elections, ignoring the fact that the Ukraine war bans elections under martial law. Meanwhile, some US lawmakers are postponing blockchain-based voting system for Ukraine, arguing they could facilitate elections even in wartime. However, critics say this approach is untested, unrealistic given Ukraine's security challenges. Additionally, Pentagon is negotiating access to Ukraine's estimated 350 billion worth of rare earth minerals, including lithium. These minerals are critical for technology and defense industries. The Ukraine's stance on these negotiations could influence future US support. Russia isn't backing down. Their playbook includes advanced drone swarms, overwhelming defense, energy grid attacks plunging cities into darkness, deep fake propaganda showing fake surrenders. Russian war strategy is evolving. Recent drone swarm attacks are designed to overwhelm Ukraine air defense, while targeting strikes on power stations leave millions in the dark. The Kremlin has also ramped up its information warfare, using deepfake videos to spread disinformation about Ukraine's surrender and leadership fractures. China's quiet game raises eyebrow, watching Beijing's move. 12 billion reconstruction funds from Huawei, strings attached, secret arms shipments to Kazakhstan, hoarding 30 million tons of Ukrainian grain. China has positioned itself as a neutral player, but behind the scenes, Beijing is making strategic moves. Reports suggest that China is quietly providing support to Russia through militaries, sending key military components through Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, a proposed $12 billion restructuring fund comes with conditions favoring Chinese tech giant Huawei, rising concerns about data security and infrastructure control. At the same time, China has stockpiled 30 million tons of Ukrainian grain, leveraging the food security as potential geopolitical tool. So what comes next? Three possible scenarios. NATO fast tracks Ukraine over Turkey's objections. Zelensky resigns, triggering a snap election. Ukraine is at a crossroads. If NATO accelerates membership, it could permanently alter the war's trajectory. If Zelensky resigns, Ukraine leadership could shift rapidly, affecting military and diplomatic strategies. The third possibility is temporary ceasefire with Belarus, immediately a demilitarized zone, but historic suggests Russia rarely honors such agreements. Ultimately, this is about 44 million Ukrainians wondering, can their leaders politically sacrifice by what bullets haven't? The world now waits for NATO and Moscow to show their hands. Leave a comment, like, or subscribe so we can keep the conversation going. And thanks for